jewel wasp. This insect is smaller than a penny, but it performs brain surgery on cockroaches. The emerald cockroach wasp does not kill its prey. That would be too kind. Instead, it delivers 2 precise stings directly into the cockroach's brain. The first sting targets the thoracic ganglion, temporarily paralyzing the front legs so the cockroach cannot run. The second sting is the real one. The wasp pushes its stinger into the cockroach's head and feels around inside the brain until it finds the exact cluster of neurons that controls the escape reflex. It then injects a cocktail of venom that does not paralyze the cockroach, but removes its desire to move. The cockroach is still alive, still capable of walking, it just no longer wants to. The wasp then grabs the cockroach by its antenna and walks it into a burrow, like a dog on a leash. Except the dog did not agree to this. Once inside, the wasp lays a single egg on the cockroach's body. When the larva hatches, it eats the cockroach alive from the inside out, carefully avoiding vital organs to keep the meal fresh as long as possible. The cockroach is conscious for most of this. The whole process takes about a month. Pyura Chilensis. This next one looks like a rock. Gray. Rough. Completely unremarkable. You would walk past it on any beach in Chile without a second thought. But cut it open, and you find a mass of blood-red organs inside. This is Pyura Chilensis, the living rock. It is a tunicate, a marine filter feeder related to sea squirts. It pumps seawater through its body and filters out food. Its blood contains extremely high concentrations of vanadium, a rare metal. Nobody fully understands why. It gets weirder. Each one is born male, then becomes a hermaphrodite. If there is no partner nearby, it fertilizes itself. And when 2 living rocks grow close enough, their bodies fuse into one organism. People in Chile eat them raw. They say it tastes like a mix of iodine and soap. It is considered a delicacy. Cymothoa Exigua. All right, this one is genuinely disturbing. This parasite enters a fish through its gills. It is a tiny crustacean, no bigger than a fingernail. Once inside the mouth, it clamps onto the fish's tongue and begins drinking blood from it. Over time, the tongue shrivels up and dies. And then the parasite does something no other parasite on Earth does. It attaches itself to the stub and becomes the fish's new tongue. The fish continues to live. It eats, it swims, it functions, apparently unaware that its tongue is now a living creature. Some fish have been found with multiple parasites in their mouths at the same time. Hairy frog. This one lives in the forests of Central Africa. And its defense mechanism sounds completely made up. When this frog is grabbed or attacked, it deliberately breaks the bones in its own toes. The sharp ends of those broken bones then puncture through the skin of its feet. Instant claws. No sheath, no retractable mechanism. The bones just snap and push through flesh. It is basically Wolverine, except real. And instead of metal claws, it is using its own fractured skeleton. And the name hairy frog comes from another oddity. During breeding season, males grow thin strands of skin and arteries along their thighs. These act as external breathing organs, letting them absorb more oxygen so they can stay underwater longer guarding their eggs. An animal that grows temporary lungs and weaponizes its own skeleton. Good luck explaining that one. Glass frog. From above, it looks like a normal green frog sitting on a leaf. Nothing special, but flip it over. The underside is almost completely transparent. You can see the beating heart, the liver, the intestines. If it is female, you can see the eggs. This is not a defect. It is camouflage. By letting light pass through its body, the frog reduces the contrast between itself and the leaf, becoming nearly invisible to anything looking up from below. But the real discovery came recently. When glass frogs fall asleep, They pull almost 90% of their red blood cells out of circulation and pack them into their liver. The liver swells to nearly twice its size. The rest of the body becomes even more transparent. When they wake up, the blood goes back. In any other animal, concentrating that much blood in one organ would cause fatal clots. The glass frog does this every single night and wakes up fine. Scientists are now studying how, because if we figure it out, it could change human medicine. Mimic octopus, found off the coast of Indonesia in 1998. Most octopuses change color to hide. This one does not hide. It becomes other animals. It can flatten its body and ripple its arms to glide across the sand like a venomous flatfish. It can bury 6 arms and wave the other 2 to look like a banded sea snake. It can spread all 8 arms and drift through the water to mimic a lionfish. Researchers have documented at least 15 impersonations. But here is the part that gets interesting. The mimic octopus does not randomly pick a disguise. It chooses based on who is attacking it. A damselfish shows up, it becomes a banded sea snake, because sea snakes eat damselfish. It reads the situation and picks the perfect response. Most octopuses are clever. This one is an actor, a strategist, and a con artist, all in one boneless body. Hagfish. No jaw, no spine, no scales. 4 hearts. This thing looks like evolution started building an animal and then just gave up halfway through. But it has survived for over 300 million years. It is one of the oldest living animal lineages on Earth. And its secret weapon is absolutely disgusting. Slime. When attacked, glands along its entire body release a substance that explodes into a massive cloud of thick, fibrous mucus on contact with seawater. One hagfish can fill a bucket with slime in seconds. The slime clogs the gills of any shark or fish that tries to bite it. The predator either lets go or suffocates. To clean itself off, the hagfish ties its own body into a knot and slides the knot down its length, scraping the slime away. Its skin hangs loosely like an oversized suit, making it nearly impossible for teeth to do real damage. Scientists are now studying the slime because the protein threads in it are strong enough to potentially replace synthetic fabrics. Lyrebird. Deep in the forests of southeastern Australia, a bird stands on a mound of dirt. And what comes out of its mouth is not a song, it is a recording. A single male lyrebird can perfectly mimic the calls of over 25 other bird species, but it does not stop at birds. Lyrebirds near human areas have been recorded imitating chainsaws, camera shutters, car alarms, barking dogs, crying babies, and construction equipment. One lyrebird in a zoo mimicked the voices of zookeepers so accurately that staff would turn around expecting to see a colleague behind them. Males do not understand what they are copying. They absorb sounds and replay them with near-perfect accuracy, sometimes years later. If a chainsaw was used in the forest a decade ago, the lyrebird still performs that sound today. Its song is a living recording of everything that has ever made noise in its territory.